DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the FL1 Betting Podcast here on FingerLakes1.com. Paul Russo here with you. Kyle Evans as well. Jim Senacropi on vacation. He's enjoying some better weather than what we got up here currently in New York, and for that, I'm happy for him. But for us, Kyle, at least it's not snowing the first day of this week. I feel like we haven't had any snow, so we got a positive going there, everybody. Week 11 is here already, so we'll recap our picks from last week. Get into the picks for this weekend and anything else that kind of really pops up here. So, Kyle, good to see you. Been a few days. It was an interesting week for us here on the pick-wise, so I'll throw up our bet card from last week here really quick. And you were the only one this week, Kyle, to end up in the green. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels good. Only like the second winning week of the year. The Bills, oh my God, you couldn't be more wrong on that. Minus 8.5, and they lose by what? 17?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I'll take a winning week, and I mean, I need some more of these. I mean, look at the difference between us right now.
Yeah, I can speak for Jim here, at least with one of our picks here. Saturday for me, it was looking decent enough for James Madison until a late touchdown by Marshall for them to only win by 12 over the Thundering Herd for James Madison. So I got a bad beat there. Jim got a technical bad beat with that game having to go to overtime. The Colts and Falcons Sunday morning over in Germany. But other than that, you and him both hit on the Eagles, so job well done there. Can't say I hate you for winning against my Commanders there, obviously. The Vikings continue my hot take about them through the year with that pick for Jim, and for me, just that's on me for trusting the Cleveland Browns in any sort of capacity. I did hit the over in that Seahawks game, so that's nice. I would say it appears as though those the Seahawks and Rams this week are going to be a high-scoring affair potentially. Not to give too much away, but let's hope we call a tease on that front. Yeah, I don't know. There hasn't been a ton to talk about this week. I mean, Brian Daboll got fired, so that's not really betting-wise in a way, but maybe he winds his way back up to Buffalo, maybe?
I think a lot of us are hoping that, but I will say, too, though, what Sean McDermott said the other day, they asked him Monday at like 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Daboll got fired at like 9:30 that morning, so like 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking him, like, have you considered, bringing Brian Daboll back? First off, guys, he's not going to tell the media and the fans, like, even if he is, yes, the firing just happened.
Right.
And you're not going to throw your guy Joe Brady under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny that people don't understand how, like, the whole, like, PR stuff works. You're not going to just come out and say, oh, yeah, we want him back. And it's basically like an F you to Joe Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not classy. That's not how you do it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, maybe Sean McDermott does want Brian Daboll back and thinks it was a better thing with Josh Allen. But at the same time, you're not going to come out and say that. Doesn't mean they're not interested. The fans are going nuts over this.
Yeah.
No one said Joe Brady's better than Brian Daboll. But you're not going to just come out and say that like that. It's just funny that people don't really understand how that all works.
Yeah, I can't imagine, especially right now, given how immediate it was, and you're still in the thick of a playoff push with the Bills, that maybe comes in and does a little bit of like advisory work in that sense of like whatever. But I would be very surprised if you saw Brian Daboll become offensive coordinator at any time during this season for the Bills.
Yeah.
So you never know there. It's been an interesting week. bit of hit and miss for me college basketball pick-wise. Light slate today on Thursday, but it'll pick up again here for the weekend.
Tonight's game, NFL wise.
Yeah, I don't know. At least we got more people kind of at least joining the side of we need to abolish Thursday night football, so I'm kind of happy about that. I think you could still technically get on the MVP race bet side of things here in the MLB. That's tonight on Thursday night here, so it won't age necessarily well. But I know, like on the NL side, I saw you could only really get Shohei odds still technically, and I don't know, but really this is a football at this point type of deal. So I think, Kyle, at this point we can probably just get on right into these picks here. With you getting the week, the ball is in your court. You've won the coin toss, Kyle. Pick first, defer, all up to you.
Yeah, so I think the first one I'm going to do is 49ers. I have -3 at the Cardinals.
I can get you 2.5.
Wow. Okay, I'll take that.
All right.
Marvin Harrison out now. I mean, Jacoby Brissett had been playing well except for last week. Of course, you still have Trey McBride, but the 49ers, the 49ers.
Yeah.
Like, somehow they've been still doing it. McCaffrey's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And as long as he stays healthy, I don't see why they can't cover a -2.5.
Yeah. They're an interesting team. I still don't know if I trust them long term here, but especially in this matchup, it's tough not to, I think, side with them, obviously. So, do I think the Cardinals able to keep up what they've kind of been doing? Yeah, we've seen the past week or so that kind of crumble a little bit. So, yep. I'm with you there. I definitely am with you. We'll go with one of Jim's picks first here, and I gotta be fully honest with everybody here. Jim gave me his picks before he took off. I really am admittedly a fan, so Jim, hopefully I'm not jinxing you here in this way. But he's going his first pick, Carolina, +4 here at the Falcons, and I really do like that pick. This week, because he's not here, I decided I'm not going to duplicate any of the picks, at least for me to him. But I like that. It's a tricky Falcons team. It might be a tricky Panthers team, but for the sake of the narrative here, I'm with Jim. Just can't trust those Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't touch the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Panthers are not a good road team. The Panthers just lost to the Saints at home last week. The Falcons, I mean, what are you going to get from, that is not a good game to pick, I think, in my opinion. But who knows? The way Jim's rolling, I mean, he probably knows it all. He's probably going to win it.
Yeah. Hey, he'll be down that way anyway, so I believe in him. My first pick, I'm going a similar route, I kind of feel like, in a way to you, Kyle, with your first pick. I'm going Chargers -2.5 at Jacksonville. Jacksonville they've let a couple veterans go this week. I don't know if they're fully doing like a sell-off here necessarily, which is weird because it's after the trade deadline, but just brutal loss for them last week at Houston. And I mean, at this point, I think this is one of those things, like, if you're the Chargers and you don't go out there and beat a team like Jacksonville this week, then I don't know what we're doing. So I'm going to trust Herbert and the guys over there can get it done on the road.
Yeah. For me, though, I think that was another game that I just didn't feel confident betting because, I mean, there's a few teams in the league that, like, you don't know what you're getting every week. And the two games that you just did and the Jim did, I think those are the teams you stay away from. But, hey, again, I'm, last place this year?
No, I've moved into last place officially now.
All right, well, I'll still probably be wrong somehow.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, if you combine our bankrolls, we still don't touch Jim's at the moment. So, Kyle, back to you for pick 2.
I think I'm going to go Chiefs -3.5 at Denver.
Oh.
I had 3.5 yesterday afternoon. I don't know what you have now.
3.5 right now, yeah.
Chiefs coming off a bye. I don't like the way the Broncos offense is, week after week. I mean, the slow starts. They're constantly trying to play catch up. I mean, last week you can't even count the Raiders are horrible. So yeah, I like where the Chiefs at offensively, and I think they do enough defensively.
Well, do I have some news to tell you?
I mean, I hope the Broncos win, but betting-wise, I don't feel good.
Well, you got a lock fight on your hands with Jim, because Jim is doing Denver +4.5, because that's the best line available to them against the Chiefs. Now, technically, there's the way that you guys can both win here, right? So I guess it's technically on the table. You could split that middle. But I'm not going to lie to you, Kyle. I'm actually leaning more on Jim on this side. I don't know. Maybe it's the pipe dream of hoping that Kansas City's dead in a way. But I don't know. I forgot about the fact that they're coming off the bye week. So that's...
I don't like to bet with, like
emotion.
I hate the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I would love to bet again. But if I'm trying to win money,
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are the play here. But
You gotta put emotion to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel you. I hear you there. Okay, I'm gonna be imposing a college football bet mechanism here on the pro side. And I'm gonna do the Giants plus 7.5 at home against Green Bay this week. A little dead cat bounce against the Packers for the Giants. Just fired, obviously, Dable. Now, I would love it way more if I had Jackson Dart under center, but I prefer having Jameis Winston before Russell Wilson, so we must have fallen into a time warp with me saying that in that way. But that being said, Green Bay just, man, for as confident as I was in them the start of the year, it's really fallen off. I don't know what happened with them Monday night, but a short-ish turnaround. I kind of like the Giants snagging that touchdown plus at home at least here against them. All right. Round 3, final picks, Kyle. Who you got?
So I was narrowing it down between Lions plus 2.5 against the Eagles, but I'm a little nervous because it's in Philly, so I'm going to stay away from that.
Okay.
I'm going to go the other road team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, plus 5.5 at Buffalo.
I can get you 6.
Ooh, even better. I mean, I think it's hard to imagine the Bills losing 2 straight, especially, with one of them being at home. But, I mean, the offense just, how can you feel good?
Yeah.
And then defensively, the Buccaneers have way more weapons. I think even if the Bills win, wouldn't you think it's going to be like a field goal difference?
Yeah.
Maybe 4 points. So how could the Bucs not cover? I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm also bad this year. So.
No, I agree with you, though. There's a little bit of, I think, for the Bills right now on offense to prove it. So I'm with you there. Tampa Bay, it's interesting because head-to-head, or not head-to-head, but home and away splits, it's kind of funny. They're both 4-1 on the road for Tampa Bay and home for Buffalo. So,
and don't you think that's a high number?
Yeah.
Considering all the stuff we just named?
Yeah. So someone's got to give.
Well, maybe they're doing the history thing that I brought up where the Bills just don't lose 2.
Right.
They've already lost 2 this season. They never lose 2 in a row twice in the same season. So,
but I think for the Buffalo end of things, too, they have just not done a good job covering spreads anyway this year. Obviously, there's a couple outliers, like that first game against the Jets and the Dolphins each, but outside of those 2, right, it's been, when they've been the favorites, it's been non-covers. So, even if Buffalo does win, you got that 6 points. I like that. I really do like that. All right, Jim is going, though, with that Detroit-Philly game, just not in the way you were leaning, Kyle. He's going to take the over 46 here. Line is coming down a little bit, I've noticed, which is interesting, but I do
FanDuel.
I think I think that's in play. I like that play for Jim, especially at least on the Detroit side. That offense has not had many worries in terms of getting things going. That's for sure. Philly, on the other hand, but that's not part for the narrative today. And then my third pick, I'm also sticking with the total here. I'm doing Seattle and the Rams over 48. I think this is going to be a shootout. Both these teams have been putting up a lot of numbers, which probably means this is the week they will go under, but I'm going to put some caution to the wind here. Just a couple of really good offenses going at it here, and I think football, at least in that late window, will be a bit more enjoyable if that game turns into a shootout. So a lot of hoping. And for me at this point with my bankroll, why not, right? Go out, be weird, and do some stuff. So, okay. Well, that's all I got for the picks. That's all we got for the picks. Excuse me. I don't think...
if you had to bet tonight, what are you doing? Patriots minus 12.5?
I might take the Jets with the points only because Thursday night gets weird, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 10.
I did the same thing last week. I did the Raiders with the points and they lost outright, but they covered with that spread. I mean, why not?
And then that Packers-Eagles game Monday night, 10-7 as well.
Just bad football.
Just weird.
Yeah. I do not care what they were trying to sell us with. That was bad football.
Yeah, I agree. And what is it with all like the top teams or what consider top teams? Packers, Eagles, Bills.
Yeah.
The struggling offenses. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. You got the Eagles one is the one that really intrigues me because it's very clear we got infighting happening over there. You got A.J. Brown talking again this week. The cynic in me really enjoys it, so who knows? But yeah, like I said though, like the Packers won. That's why I kind of like the Giants game, that touchdown plus I mentioned. It's I don't know what's been happening over there. And I get maybe the weather wasn't great against the Eagles on Monday night, but still, like, this is not a 1 week sample size issue with the Packers either at this point. It's been a solid month and a half where they've kind of been congested on offense too. I don't get it. Especially like you said, it's these teams that we all had high hopes or expectations of this year.
Yeah. I think the Packers still couldn't get over the Tucker Kraft loss. But no.
True.
I don't know. The Eagles, I mean, I see these Eagles. I don't know how you can like watching. I think they're a boring team. The Bills are bad too offensively, but the Eagles, man, I mean, with all the weapons, they run one boring offense.
And I think it'd be one thing, though, if that boring offense was actually paying dividends, but it's not.
No.
Like, that's the issue.
Point totals are way down than they should be.
Like, you want to know who runs a boring offense? Seattle. But Seattle's executing that offense really well. It's an old school offense. I mentioned it. I don't know if it was necessarily on here, but it's like they have Sam Darnold doing 7-step dropbacks, and it's paying off. Like, when was the last time you saw a quarterback do a 7-step dropback?
Yeah, they're
right?
insane.
Yeah.
Points they're putting up.
So, like I said, I think it'd be one thing if it was paying off. It's just not for them, and it's just crazy to me, right? You have. You talked about the weapons, but it's like you have arguably on paper two at worst top 15 receivers in the league. You have at worst a top 5 running back in the league.
Solid tight end.
Yeah, I mean Goddard maybe is that weird like weakish link, but even then,
solid player.
Year over year, he's probably a top 10 tight end, right?
Yeah.
So.
Jalen Hurts can run.
Yeah,
it's threat.
So crazy that they just have struggled the way that they have struggled this year in particular. But, hey, maybe for us it's in the better spot because nobody likes the Eagles. So, yeah, who knows?
And then you didn't mention your Commanders, Madrid.
Bad. I would take the Dolphins for sure.
I mean, the Dolphins have been playing well.
Have you seen in standard fantasy scoring what Devon Achane is projected to get this week?
No.
27.5. That is crazy.
But you got to remember, though, what was it? Bijan Robinson and James Cook both got shut down by that Miami bad run defense. So, hey.
Yeah, but
you never know. Like
that's true.
The Commanders should be able to run the ball. But at the same time, the stats haven't backed it up.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm wearing the Lightning hat, and even then, things are going great there. So, at least we got the heat.
Yeah.
For me and you.
Except last night.
Yeah.
No Donovan Mitchell, no Evan Mobley, and they still lose by a lot.
I've said this to a couple people. This Miami team, the Heat, give me the vibe of like they're gonna get like the 5th seed, and then just end up in the conference finals somehow. Because Spo is just working Spo dark magic,
Yeah, well,
I'll say this though, it's a much more fun team this year than it has been the past couple of years. It has been without Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero so far. It's
you know what makes it more fun though? The Knicks.
Yeah. Well,
Record. Take away the Jalen Brunson. They were playing bad before he got injured last night. Celtics. What are they doing?
Well, the tough part with them, right, is they lost Tatum, who very clearly,
but they're still,
as we all knew. But that's what I'm getting at, though. Is I was talking with somebody about this, and they're just like, I think the Celtics. I'm like, I don't think so. You still have Jaylen Brown. You still have Derek White.
They're loaded with
and I mean, the fact that they've been losing to the Sixers and stuff like that, it's like, ugh.
And it's so cool to see, even though, some of them, they impact the Heat, but the Pistons, the Magic, the younger teams playing well. It's just it's nice to see, new teams at the top. I know it's so early yet.
Yeah.
But it's not like some of the other leagues where it's the same teams at the top. So hopefully it kind of stays. But the Knicks will eventually climb back up, and the Celtics will climb back.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think it helps that the NBA, at least on the East anyway, this year, right? It's a lot of youth. It's a lot of learning. I think it makes for a lot of fun basketball. Like I personally, the team I find the most just fun watching, weirdly, has been the Nets. Like, they suck, but like, it's a fast-paced, like, fun offense, and like, they don't make a ton of shots, but like, you just got a bunch of random dudes out here running around. It makes for a fun time. Whereas out in the West, I think you have the talent, which is where I do think you can still find some better value if you're going future direction. But if you have a Mavs ticket, I feel bad for you at this point. They banished Nico Harrison to the gulag, and I don't know. We'll see where Anthony Davis officially ends up. I think Chicago is kind of the leading clubhouse contender there right now, and we'll see. But yeah, the NBA is a good fun. The NHL has been a lot of fun to watch, man. You want to talk about a fun team, even though they are putting up results. I've had a lot of fun watching Chicago this year again. I mean, I think it helps that Bedard's kind of. It looks like early on he's kind of making that turn a little bit here, and they've been kind of fun. Bertuzzi's been great. I have Bertuzzi in fantasy, so that's been a fun little helper there. And hockey's always an interesting thing too, because there is an element of it slogs along, right? You're playing more or less 2 games a week for the most part, and everything like that, but. It's been a lot of fun kind of over there, unless you're a Ranger fan.
It's unbelievable how they struggle so much at the Garden.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even add up. It doesn't make sense. But for me, the team that's been really impressive is Montreal.
Yeah.
And, of course, they are at the top of the East right now.
Sure.
But they're young players. Like, it's like the NBA kind of. In the NHL right now, there's so many young guys. I mean, I don't know if you've heard that 18-year-old from the Islanders, defenseman.
I have him in fantasy.
Yeah, he's got...
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many points, but it's insane as an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Defenseman, too.
Yep.
And then you look at San Jose with the Sharks. They compete every night. Macklin Celebrini, I think he has 11 goals now, maybe 10.
He's only 19.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, all these young guys are just leading the way. And then you look at, the powerhouses, Vegas. Florida's down this year, but they have injuries. Winnipeg, Dallas... New Jersey has actually been good.
I'll say Jersey and Carolina look like they both have kind of finally, early on here, said, okay, maybe we can actually do it this year,
Or this is the year Carolina can say that.
Correct.
They keep getting knocked out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Although to be fair, on the Montreal front, go back about a month or so ago, we were looking at some of those hockey futures. Head coach Marty St. Louis was up there for the Adams Trophy.
True.
And we were both, I know for me, I was kind of wondering a little bit, like, I don't know about that fully yet being up there. But
And I was high on Ottawa, but of course they lost Kachuk. And they just kind of haven't been the same, but they're still decent.
Good to see podcasting isn't being put on the IR.
Forgot about Boston.
Yeah.
Ugh. Of course they're good, somehow.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, how are they good? They're old.
Yeah.
Vintage milk and
I
Crosby.
was going to say, we also didn't talk about, speaking of old, but Ovechkin getting to 900 obviously is huge. I mean, I think hockey's in a really good spot right now, and hopefully Gary Bettman doesn't mess it up like he usually does.
Yeah, except it's ruined my year because, like I said, ESPN Plus is unwatchable. I still try every night, and I'm getting kicked off I'm not even touching the game, and in 15 minutes I'm getting kicked off the app back to my Roku home screen. And then I'll look at the other screen. The other screen will randomly freeze, and then because remember I have a 7 TV setup,
right?
So I'm seeing screens because I have a lot of.
But I love the subtle flex of just going the 7 TVs.
So I want to be able to watch all these games, but I'm constantly getting screwed.
Yeah, ESPN at this point, or rather, let's go with the parent company of Disney, needs to figure this out. Obviously, the YouTube TV thing is dragging along here. I know we talked about off air a few weeks ago about that, but I've heard other people have that same issue involving ESPN Plus through whether it's Roku or the other kind of apps. I know like Samsung Plus, like our TV, the TV I have is a Samsung, one of the Samsung Pluses, and I know some people in that are having issues there because obviously you have to go through the app through that system. If you're paying as much as you're paying with this at this point with all of that, I don't think a $20 rebate cuts it. You know what I mean? So
The crazy thing is this ESPN Plus issue has been going on 3 months.
Right.
I saw people doing college football like complaining in August about it, where it's freezing. And so how do you go 3 months and like you're not even addressed? Like they're not even putting out statements. They're not like they're not apologizing. They're not trying to work to fix it.
no, especially it's only like compounded right now, right? Because college basketball is huge through Plus. Obviously, the NHL is. I know college hockey also too is huge through ESPN Plus. Like they're gonna have issues whether they pretend to stick their head in the sand or not about it, right? They're gonna learn.
If anyone watching or you or whatever, you go to Twitter and just type in or X, ESPN buffering, you're gonna see tweets constantly of everyone around the world complaining, and that's why I cannot believe this is not being fixed.
It's crazy. But
So I gotta kind of stick with TNT.
The worldwide leader, right?
They're far from that, man. I really don't watch ESPN much.
It's crazy, man. Because I know for you, I mean, even though like you're on the younger end of this, I mean, it's just crazy to kind of the fall off that they've had. Even since when I graduated high school, was still, to me, I felt like peak ESPN in a way, and man, it's crazy to even say it like this, but man, how I wish we still had 2019 ESPN, 2020 ESPN. But oh well, hey, at least we don't have to worry about ESPN Bet over on our end. So, all right, Kyle, I think that's about it. I don't got anything else. You probably don't have anything else. It's Jim. That's right. Doesn't have anything else. So we'll get out of here on that note. So Kyle, we'll talk with you next week. We'll talk with everybody next week. We'll recap our bets. Is Jim back next week for the betting podcast?
I think so.
I think he's supposed to be. But either way, me and Kyle will for sure be here.
Somebody will be here.
Yeah, me and Kyle will for sure have you. Recap our picks, make new ones. Crazy. Next week, I just realized we're going to have to make a decision because Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away.
Yeah, next week,
So,
a week out when we're sitting here.
Yeah, so we're going to have to make a decision about the week after, but that's a decision for next week, not this week at this point. So I will talk again, everybody, next Thursday at 2 p.m. You can find the FL1 Betting Podcast and all FL1 podcasts on fingerlakes1.com, the FL1 YouTube channel, and all major podcasting platforms. Good luck this weekend with your picks, everybody. We'll chat again next week.